Hello people of Surf and Turf, and welcome back to another video. Now today's video is just going to be going over why I think that Gen Alpha, particularly girls, but this sort of applies to boys, just this one particular topic that I think more applies to girls because it's something that girls are typically more into, and from what I've seen. Now this is more to talk about on the internet. This is not to pass judgment on anyone. As a Catholic, I don't believe in judging. That doesn't mean I don't do it sometimes, but I do not believe that judging somebody is going to really help, because you never really understand what's going on. But anyways, just, this is also not to generalize all Gen Alphas or Millennials or older Gen Z. I know plenty of Gen Alphas who are not like this. I mean, I am almost a Gen Alpha myself. I was born in April of 2009, which just barely makes me a Gen Z. I mean, Gen Alpha starts in 2011 and goes until 2024, and I know that Gen Beta is starting next year, but obviously this video is not going to be about that, because Gen Beta hasn't started yet, though there are plenty of Gen Betas on the way. Anyways, so this is in particular. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the whole thing with skincare and makeup. So what I've seen a lot of on the internet, specifically like YouTube, because I don't watch TikTok, as you may know. But what I've seen is a lot of young girls, particularly, I would say age, 8 and up, though I've seen it with younger girls. It's just, I feel like that's one thing in particular that stood out to me, is the obsession with skincare and makeup. Now, I'm not saying that either of those things are inherently bad. And and it's not, bad if you do those things. It's just that I think that girls of that age are a little bit too young to be needing to do this. Now, this is not saying that I am right about everything, or that my skincare routine is the perfect skincare routine that everyone should follow, but I really don't do that much skincare. I wash my face every day in the shower. I could probably start doing it in the morning. My acne is okay, sometimes it flares up, but I'm a teenager and that's expected. Can't control everythall, but I do what I can to control my acne and just keep my face healthy. I don't really moisturize my face, though I probably could. But really, I don't use, all those products, I don't know what it's called. It's some bubbly brand. I know the name, but, sort of off the tip of my tongue. But it's, bubbly something, things that you can find at Sephora. I've been to Sephora before. It's expensive, and all these things are, expensive. Now, I don't really see why an 8-year-old would need this. I mean, really, when I was 8, I wasn't really thinking about skincare. Maybe I could have been doing a little more. It couldn't have hurt to wash my face, but I didn't get acne. I was young. I mean, really, I was not so much thinking about this stuff. And then another thing before I get more into that is makeup. As for makeup, I'm not saying that there's a problem with putting on makeup again. But there is, I think, some little girls putting on too much makeup. I mean, as for me and makeup, I really don't put on that much. On my day-to-day basis is just putting on some, concealer on my under eye just to get rid of, some of my dark circles. I really don't do, that much makeup unless it's for, a special event, which, for my school. But really, if I'm just going to school or church, I don't see why I have to get all decked out. And I'm not saying that that's a problem if you think that way. It's just, I don't know, I don't really have the time or energy in the morning to do that. But hey, no judgment if you do. If that's what you do every day, that's great. And I don't see that I need makeup to be pretty. I mean, the concealer is simply just hiding a part of my face that's not the best, and it doesn't work perfectly. You can still see them, and I don't think I look ugly with dark circles. But I think when you have little girls who are putting on too much makeup, first off, it's not necessary. They don't need makeup at that age. I mean, really, when you start getting older, you start maybe wanting to do it. But it might also give them the problematic complex that you are not pretty unless you have makeup on, which is not true. We know that. We don't want to give kids that idea, because kids are very, shapeable. And by that I mean, they're very easy to convince of things. They're, you could say gullible is another way. By shapeable, I mean, their brain. What they take in and what they learn. So we gotta be careful about what you teach them, because they will believe things more than people who are more mature, because they still need to get mature to think more in depth about these things. So that's one problem I see. Another problem is, and this also applies to some of the Gen Alpha boys too, but I don't see it as that much of a problem. Again, this is a lot about girls, because I don't know why, but for some reason it seems to be more of an issue with them. And that's TikTok. Now, I don't have TikTok, but I don't think there's anything necessarily inherently wrong with having it. Just use it in moderation. Like, I don't think it's the healthiest thing to spend, 14 hours a day on TikTok. Because then I think at that point you're just using it to get rid of your boredom. But I don't think that young kids need to be on TikTok and need to be watching it, or they should definitely not be on it, because that's technically not even legal. Because I don't think that, because whenever I see, like, little kids doing TikTok dances on, like, YouTube Shorts, it's not, some of these dances are not even appropriate for children. I remember watching this video, and I'm not going to name a song here, because it's kind of inappropriate, but it was this mom and her 7-year-old daughter, plus, like, her friend, who was also, like, 7, and they were doing this very inappropriate dance. Like, I'm not going to go into detail, but it was just very explicit, I would say, and they were not wearing very modest clothing, and I was just like, this is not appropriate. Like, I don't know why that the mom thought it was a good idea. Like, it seems to be a problem with the younger millennials and the older Gen Z parents. I don't think they entirely think, and again, not to judge, but I'm just saying is that they don't really think about what they post before they post it, and then it's like, video is really not appropriate, I don't know why you would post it, but hey, we can improve on this by not doing that. I really don't think they should be on social media in that sense. Like, posting a picture of your kid is not, like, really a bad thing, but, like, posting a video of your kid doing an inappropriate dance is another thing. So I would say don't do that. In the least judgy way possible. So I think that's part of the reason, is because, like, they're getting too much into adult products, like skincare stuff, and, like, retinol. Like, isn't that for much older people? But, like, that is for, like, people who are in their middle age, and that is a reasonable product to use for middle age or elderly people, but it's not something that, like, a 9-year-old needs. So, yeah, and they're also getting too grown up with all of the TikTok dances and trends. I mean, when I was that age, I was more focused on playing with toys and just being a kid and friends, and, yeah, I kind of think I have very fond memories of that, and I think it's really helped to form me into a more well-rounded teenager. Not that I'm perfect, but obviously. But I do think that has given me a sense of appreciation for things like having a simple skincare and hair and makeup routine, and I don't think I need TikTok. I mean, sure, I go on YouTube Shorts, and that does sometimes hinder me from my productivity, but, I don't do TikTok dances. I like making YouTube videos, but that's for fun, and, yeah, I think I become a more well-rounded teenager because I wasn't allowed to do any of the things that a lot of Gen Alpha were allowed to do. I'm just saying, not to put judgment, but hey, there's nothing wrong with kids being a little more like kids. But anyways, yeah, that's all. That's what I'll say. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want. And I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye.